Thank you all for joining me today for Ikoria Deck Archetypes Azorius Flying. Before I start, this video is sponsored by WizardTower.com, your Canadian store for all your Magic the Gathering and gaming needs. Pre-order Ikoria today. We're at the end of the first week of our Ikoria Limited Deck Archetypes, and it's time to take to the sky with Azorius Flying. The goal of this deck is to have as many of your creatures as possible as flying, so they can evade any blockers and get in for damage. This will usually lead to overall worse stats for your creatures, but their evasion will lead you to victory. There are only so many creatures with flying in this set, but don't worry, there are a couple of cards that can add flying counters to your creatures. Spontaneous Flight is a great combat trick that leaves a little leftover bonus of a flying counter onto your creature. Now let's go and find the biggest, baddest monster we can add that flying counter to. Now it's on to some fun flying creatures. Dreamtail Heron is a nice mutating creature that can help you draw a card every time you mutate, and leaves you with a 3/4 flying creature as well. Once you have all your flying creatures onto the battlefield, you need something to protect them. That's where Jubilant Skybonder enters the fray. Having your opponent's removal spells cost 2 more to cast will make it much harder for them to interact with your flying creatures. Now let me talk about 2 of the best cards you want for your Azorius Flying deck. Luminous Broodmoth will revive any of your ground creatures that die and add a flying counter to them, so they can continue to fight again. It's a solid 3/4 creature by itself. Will be sure to get in for some damage in the air. The number 1 card you want for this deck, though, is Skycat Sovereign. For only 2 mana, you get a flying creature that can pump itself up, adding 1/1 flying creatures onto the battlefield. With enough mana, you can provide multiple attackers and blockers and finish off your opponent with a large Skycat Sovereign. I truly do want to build a sweet deck around this card. Now that you know which cards to look for when playing Azorius Flying, you're prepared to evade any blockers and attack through the air. Thanks again for joining me on today's Deck Archetype, and I'll see you again soon.